I'm Ayoko Chapman, and I'm with Stuart Henrickson, Director of Entrepreneurship, Asper School of Business. So Stuart, why don't we start out with you telling me a bit about your background in the areas of money and finance and how that relates to your role now at the Asper School.
Sure. I started off my career working for a bank and spent about 25 years working in various roles in corporate and investment banking, both in Canada as well as overseas. So I've had the advantage, even though I started off in Winnipeg, of moving around the world. And that gave me a different perspective on a lot of the things that people run into. And certainly there's different challenges when you're dealing with very large companies versus very small companies and startups, which is really what I deal with today.
Okay. So a big part of starting a business and planning a career in the area of money and finance, for example, is finding out ways that you can access resources and acquire the capital that you might need. Can you tell us a bit about sort of what some of the steps or advice you offer?
Absolutely. I think unlike most universities, a lot of times the university will really teach people how much money you require, how to build up your capital structure, but they don't tell you how to get out the door and go and find that money. That's the biggest challenge to young entrepreneurs. Anybody who's starting up a company, whether they're young or older, they have to find that capital. So we try and direct them, and we do that by creating mentorships where they can work with people in industry. We also take them out to various banks and credit unions, financial institutions, so they know where to go. So it's not just going to your local retail branch. Now they understand what the benefits of credit unions are, that there's a group like Futurepreneur that helps people when it comes to young person financing, and also that there's angel investor groups out there, so if they're looking for equity. The biggest thing that we try and assist people in is finding them connections so they can have mentors, because really that helps them get off the ground. Most entrepreneurs challenged in finding money, but money is driven by what the management team is. If you can find them a strong mentor or an advisor, that helps them a lot.
So once a student has finished your program and they're ready to go out and start their own business, what is step one?
Well, we hope that at the point that they've left our program, they've already put together a business plan for their company, because we do encourage that they take live companies at universities and get ready for start so they can hit the ground running. So we would expect them at that point to have already had meetings with groups like Futurepreneur, possibly with the credit unions, the BDC, the banks, and we'll help guide them through that process. We also connect them up with groups like the Women's Center for female entrepreneurs that want to start up their company. So they should be at the point coming out of school where they're having their first meetings. We also have advisors available for them to go with. So at that stage, they're ready to open up the company. We've also arranged for our students that they get subsidized legal services, so their incorporation costs are dramatically reduced. We have IP lawyers that are available that come to our school that meet with the students, talk about their projects and find out what kind of patents they might need. So we want them to be at the point that when they graduate, they can immediately start opening up their company. The other great thing about being at a university is the U of M has about 30,000 students, so that's a small town. And you can do a lot of target market focusing when you can have a small town at your beck and call with 30,000 individuals. So it's very easy for them to do the surveying that, let's say, a small business in downtown Winnipeg without that access would either have to pay a lot of money for or would have to go through a lot of struggles to get.
Okay. Do you offer any support beyond the time that the students are at university? Are there, I've seen many former students come back and participate in activities and projects that you have. So maybe give us some examples of some of the things that your former students might do and how you kind of stay involved with them.
Well, the one great thing is a lot of the Asper students have gone on to be part of that ecosystem. So we have ex-Asper students who are running Ramp Up Manitoba, Startup Winnipeg, ones that are running the Eureka project, Manitoba Technology Accelerator, and these are the logical next steps for them. In the old days when you want to start up a company, you did it out of your basement, you kind of lived off of mom and dad for the first few years. Now the way that we hope that they'll do it is they'll go into what we call a pre-incubator, like a Ramp Up Manitoba, which is right here in the Exchange District, or they might go to that next stage of getting some government funding and being part of an incubator or an accelerator like the Eureka project in Smart Park, or Manitoba Technology Accelerator. So both of those are logical next steps. And we have students that graduate and that go right into it. So again, we want to have more of a seamless approach. And luckily those groups, those companies are willing to come to Asper and let the students know who they are and invite them to their premises. So it's not like they're starting from stage one.
Okay. So many of your students are young, enthusiastic people with big plans. Do you ever have experienced entrepreneurs that might come back and seek a little bit more advice or support, that maybe go back to school and start on a new path again?
Yeah, we do. Number one, we have the MBA program, so our doors are open to them, of course, as well, and we teach them in terms of classes, and we open the same doors for them. But I'd say the biggest thing is, the Entrepreneurship Center is an open door. So we bring in people not only from the Asper School, but from across campus, University of Manitoba. We have Red River College students that come to us, and we send some of our students to Red River College for some of their expertise as well. So we have a great relationship with them. We have ex-students that come back to want to be part of the program or just are looking for advice. So we have that open door policy. When you graduate, you don't leave. You're still part of the family. And that's really how networking works, and that's how Winnipeg works. You don't just go out to somebody and get to know them for one project. You create a relationship with them, and it's usually long term. So we try and maintain that.
Okay. Well, that's great. It sounds like there's always a lot happening. You always seem to have exciting projects. I see students coming back together. There seems to be a real strong community. Sure.
We're located in the Asper School of Business on the 5th floor, and they can always come by or check out our website or our Facebook page. But I think the biggest thing is, we should be coming to them, and we try and really reach out to the business community. So what we're trying to do a better job at is making sure we're bringing our MBA students and our undergrad students to business, so that there creates that connection. So people don't have to knock on the door. The door is already open and we're already coming to you. So that's really what we want to focus on, is build the business community connections and move forward from there.
Okay, so if people do want to find out more, where should they go online?
University of Manitoba main website, so www.umanitoba.ca/entrepreneurship, or they can check out our Facebook page.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
Okay.